You may not have noticed this, but robots are part of our everyday lives now, even though they're not exactly what they thought they would be a century ago. In this movie from 1939, the electronics company Westinghouse imagined a giant gold machine named Electro towering over people from a balcony. Some of its capabilities were spot on. For instance, it seemed to be a precursor to Siri, equipped with the ability for someone to talk into a phone in order to get a machine to struggle to carry out a command.
Electro, come here.
The crowd in the film was left in awe as the thing did everything humans loved to do back in the day, like count on their fingers and smoke cigarettes. Electro even had excuses queued up for when it messed up phone calls.
If I get a wrong number, I can always blame the operator.
Even though the machine was kind of a pervert.
By the way, I see a lot of good numbers out in our audience today.
Electro, behave yourself.
Despite its demeanor, it left this phony audience in awe.
That's the most remarkable thing I've ever seen.
Boy, what a guard that guy'd make on my football team.
Of course, the robots we have in our daily lives today don't exactly descend from Electro's motherboard. Now don't get me wrong, at this summer's robot fair in China, we saw demonstrations of everything from flailing gray human heads to robot bartenders to digital dogs to scary surgical bots, all of which appear to be on the horizon. But the robots normal people encounter in our everyday lives aren't exactly offering up sage advice, dancing away those sad feelings, and binging Suits when you finally leave the house. Today, they're mostly carrying out specialized tasks, like these robo-coolers delivering packages on the sidewalk, machines that move stuff around warehouses, and the poor slobs stuck vacuuming your rug. I've got one of those things, but they haven't always been perfect. Years ago, stories went viral about Roombas running over dog and spreading fecal matter over every conceivable surface, leaving the room in one guy's house to resemble a Jackson Pollock painting. And 2 years ago, Roomba rolled out new products designed to detect cat and dog waste, and even introduced a pet owner official promise. I'll leave you to figure out what the acronym spells, to help guarantee against, quote, poop-tastrophes, unquote. Valid only for 1 year on solid cat and dog waste only, of course. And as the fine print notes, it does not provide any remedy or reimbursement for damages to carpets, floors, or other items, or the cleaning of such items. Though in the event your robot vacuum does spread, at least they'll replace it with a brand new spreading robot. Anyway, one robot that does not want to put up with your is the Knightscope K5. It's billed as a fully autonomous outdoor security robot, and it's already being deployed in casinos, parking lots, and other public places. And just like this nation's fleet of Broadway daydreaming actors whose big break will be serving you a latte, this robot has aspirations of moving to the big city too. And it's just staged its debut beneath the Great White Way in the New York City subway system. Over the next 2 months, the NYPD is testing out the K5 autonomous robot at the Times Square subway station between the hours of midnight to 6 a.m. Here's the mayor.
We're taking existing technology, cameras, being able to communicate with people, and we're placing it on wheels.
The machine features a live, real-time 360-degree video feed that the cops can pull video off of in case it captures a crime. It can also capture video of a busker playing a chair as a drum, but it won't be very good content. The robot doesn't record audio. It's also programmed to operate on the mezzanine level, keeping it above and away from the subway tracks, but you're still free to try pushing the thing in front of a moving car like the mayor here, though it does weigh about 400 pounds, and you're on the hook for any injuries.
If it's damaged, they're going to pay for it.
On the top of the robot, there's a call button you can tap for help. And just like everyone's favorite RoboCop, no, not that one, the good one from the 80s, it's being paired up with a partner while out on patrol.
It's very important that the public knows what this robot is, what its capabilities are. So that's in large part why we're assigning a cop to be with it.
People going about their day, of course, stop to take pictures of the thing, and subway riders seem mixed about having yet another weirdo follow you around the Times Square station.
It's just a strange look at them.
They are just putting more police surveillance on us. So New York is now a police state.
That it'll catch more of the dangers we see in the city every day. Maybe more people will be willing to take public transportation if they don't feel so scared all the time. Like there's crazy people daily, every day.
Critics of this kind of technology, like the Legal Aid Society, said back in April that rolling out this robot is another violation of basic norms of transparency and accountability, and sent a letter to the NYPD Inspector General asking for public feedback that's required by law. But the NYPD says it's already complying with that law because the robot is already covered under its policy on situational awareness cameras. And the K5 isn't the NYPD's only robot. There's also a K9 in the form of DigiDog, which was also reintroduced back in April. It's not quite as skilled as Ryder's RoboDog from Paw Patrol, but it is one of those highly capable spot robots. But this time, instead of dancing around like the Rolling Stones, it'll be doing things like, delivering food to hostages. In April, the executive director of the Surveillance Technology Oversight Project told the Associated Press that the NYPD is turning bad science fiction into terrible policing. Though back when the site was called Twitter in 2021, the NYPD said there that it's used robots in situations like these since the 1970s. Now I keep saying reintroduced because DigiDog robots, which at the very least aren't able to turn your living room into a Pollock studio, were phased out 2 years ago after critics called them a dystopian surveillance drone. New Yorkers didn't love that the DigiDogs are being deployed in places like public housing buildings. And in 2021, Representative Jamal Bowman, who represents the north part of the Bronx, said this.
People living in poverty, struggling to put food on the table, keep a roof over their head, take care of their kids, afford child care. All this going on. And now we got damn robot police dogs walking down the street. What the hell do we need robot police dogs?
It's worth pointing out that the K5 robot in the subway system is not equipped with facial recognition, which multiple studies have found can effectively automate bias and misidentify people of color, trans people, and women more than middle-aged men, though the city hasn't ruled out implementing facial recognition down the line. But New York's Mayor Adams can recognize the value of cash as he seeks to reduce budgets across the city, and notes that leasing a K5 robot costs about $9 an hour and doesn't require bathroom breaks or meal breaks, though it does take very lengthy battery breaks at a charging station. If the K5's 2-month test run is successful, it's possible the machine will be left to roam sans partner, and the mayor may then expand the technology to more subway stations. No matter what happens, let's hope these robocops treat citizens with more respect than this guy.
Quiet, please. I'm doing the talking.
I'm sorry.